This podcast has content that may be distressing to some listeners. Be sure to check the description below for content warnings. And now, a poem in the style of Billy Collins.
Before we begin, consider this a gentle tap on the shoulder, a voice clearing its throat before stepping into the light. What we say may drift like autumn leaves, soft and harmless, or land like a stone in a quiet pond of your afternoon. If a phrase catches in your chest, if a memory rises uninvited, know that you can press pause, step away, let the world settle where they will. We're here to share, not to shake the ground, but sometimes even the smallest tremor can feel like an earthquake.
Our jobs are so mundane, or we just feel like we're not making a difference. But when somebody takes a minute out of their day to tell you that, I feel like it makes all the difference in the world.
There was a couple times when you were talking to Kyle where you said things like
Did
Moira.
I?
Yeah.
Listen, okay. We're starting off here because as you'll get to learn at the end of the episode, Jordan kind of lifts the veil and tells you guys that we actually film the beginning of the episode at the end after we've done all the other parts.
Hollywood
Magic. So now you got me to lose my train of thought. Where was I going with this?
We were just having some standard chat shit.
Oh, stop it. So he mentioned Kyle, who is our special guest today, Mr. Kyle Cohen.
Hey.
So excited because not only is he a fellow Ohioan.
Yes.
But
also from Northeast Ohio. So
Northeast
yay.
Ohio, right. He is a Cleveland assistant principal, and he shares his journey online all about being an assistant principal and formerly a fourth grade teacher and all kinds of fun content. So make sure you check out his pages. But Jordan was saying how while we were talking with Kyle, I was saying certain things like Moira.
You're rewatching Schitt's Creek.
I am. It's amazing.
It's a great show. No, I'm not. But you do this thing. I swear. It doesn't matter if it's TV shows, movies. Just if we visit a certain area for too long.
Yeah.
And we talk about Lauren and Kyle's speechy background because they were both in speech and debate in high school. But I think it's part of that is the root cause, I would say.
It is the root cause.
But you pick up the accent of just something you're fixated on.
Scarily fast.
Yes. But it's not
intentional.
No, it's not intentional. And then the other issue with it is it doesn't take over your complete dialect. It'll just be certain words. And I'll just be like,
here and there.
Yeah.
It'll be intermittent. But we first realized it a while ago because we actually were visiting Jordan's brother and his wife in Tennessee.
Yeah.
And they're obviously in Tennessee, there are people who have more of a Southern drawl in their speech, and they speak with a Southern accent. And we were only there for 4 days.
Yeah.
And I started to pick up a Southern accent, and I was doing it subconsciously. I didn't even realize it until Jordan was like, "Why are you speaking like that?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" I'm not doing it right now, but it was so noticeable, but I didn't notice it. And now I realize that's something that I do is if I'm somewhere where people are speaking in an accent different from how I speak, I start to pick up on that and subconsciously change my speech to include that accent. I don't understand how that happens or why. I'm sure there's someone somewhere that could explain it scientifically. And now I kind of want to research it.
You're a little vocal chameleon.
I am a vocal chameleon. I love that. I am a vocal chameleon. There's my Moira.
You know what I did find?
What?
My hat from last week.
If you're coming to this episode for the first time, you're probably so confused.
Why is there a pineapple hat?
Well, maybe you should go check out the episode and find out.
Yeah, go check out I think it would be last week's episode.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It was a good one, I promise.
With Principal Lamb.
Principal Lamb and Brenna. They were
Yes.
so great. So yeah, this is an interesting episode. So I'm not gonna lie, it's heavy on the teacher. So if you're in education and you are like, I can't listen to one more thing in education right now, I totally get it. But you're gonna want to listen to this one because we talk about lots of important stuff and how teachers are awesome and how we need to support families and students and lots of important education things. And if you're not in education, you should still listen because I think this is knowledge that everyone needs.
Yeah.
And that we all need to fix our education system because it's broken. It needs our help. I feel like we need to put out like one of those like
Help
ASPCA
me.
ads with like the ones that would show up on TV and make you feel
should
bad.
You should write a song just in the arms of a teacher.
No.
Why?
You will not Sarah McLachlan this podcast. No, but it I feel like that's what our education system needs. We need an ASPCA ad on TV with just teachers holding books just looking sad in a
why would the
classroom.
ASPCA do a teacher ad?
Not the actual ASPCA. I'm saying that style of ad.
Style.
Sorry.
Okay.
That style of ad. We should do that where we just have like teachers holding books in classrooms looking sad and okay, and a student sitting there like eating their lunch in a cafeteria.
So I take it that your suggestion is that we petition the NEA to spend an insane budget to create a Sarah McLachlan style campaign, have a song written that pulls at the heartstrings of everyone in the nation.
Your donation of just 3 cents a day, 3 cents a day can provide meals for hundreds of elementary children and books for classrooms that haven't received new classroom library books in decades. Just 3 cents. Like
3 cents. Wow.
That's it. 3 cents a day and we fix education, guys. That's how we do it.
I think there's a lot more wrong.
No, I'm totally being sarcastic. If you can't hear the sarcasm in my voice, there's a lot more we need to do. But we have a whole episode, so you guys stick around. We'll be right back. All right, everybody, we are back, and today we have, I'm excited because we have a fellow Ohioan
I know,
today.
not just an Ohio, a Northeast Ohioan.
Yes,
Home turf today.
We are a special group of people up here in Northeast Ohio, and today our special guest is Mr. Kyle Cohen. Thank you so much for being here.
It is a joy to be here. I'm so excited.
Yay.
So, are you in your office right now?
We are in the office. You are in the assistant principal's office.
Oh, I don't like that.
Coming in live.
We're in the principal's office.
Oh,
but
boy.
I have snacks. So
okay.
It's a happy place to be.
I was about to say, it sounds like we're in there for a good reason now. If there's snacks, we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's so crazy. Like, you're one of the first people, I feel like, because I don't know how old you are and you don't have to share, but I feel like we're relatively in the same age range.
Yeah.
And you're like one of the first people that I know that was a teacher and now has made the transition into administration. So I think that's something that's really interesting to me because I'm about to finish my second master's degree in administration. And I just want to know, like, what has that been like for you?
Yeah, it's been wild. I completed my admin licensure program a couple of years ago, and I knew from like my second year in the classroom I wanted to go into school leadership because I quickly learned from like my earliest days in the classroom how essential it is to have a leader who has your back
Mhm.
and who has and have a leader who understands the ins and outs of what teachers go through every single day.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be that person. I wanted to be that person who goes to bat for teachers, who goes to bat for kids every single day, and who has like the energy and drive and excitement to do that. So I knew that like I didn't want to wait 15, 20 years to go into this position because I'm so excited about it now. And I'm in a place in my life where I can give it my all now. And we're filming this at 5:40 p.m. and I'm still at work, but like it's okay because like I have the capacity to take this on now. But for the past few years, I've put my name out there and just try to network to the best of my ability to see what positions are out there. And I had full intentions to return to my school this school year to teach another year of fourth grade. And I got a call late June about an opening for an assistant principal position. The assistant principal moved into the principal role because the principal had just got promoted within the district.
Mhm.
And there was this opening there. And I'm a huge believer that everything happens for a reason. And went on that interview, met the most incredible team, and I feel like I hit the lottery. And I'm at another amazing school with a phenomenal team. And I'm like been pinching myself that I get to do this job every day. So it's been a really great transition. Don't get me wrong. It has been so challenging and it has been really, really difficult, but um, it's been really amazing too. So yeah. And
That's
we've made it to January, so almost February.
that's awesome. I'm so happy for you that happened that way, and I agree, everything I feel everything happens for a reason, even, challenging things that happen to us, we can always learn and grow and be stronger because of them. Um, so I mean, okay, I feel like going into an assistant principal role as, like, a first-time administrator is, like, it's, like, the sweet spot, right? You're administration, but you're not the top dog making all of the decisions and, like, the really tough choices yet, are you?
No, and I love this position. Like,
That's
this
good.
is, like, the perfect role for me right now because I'm learning so much every single day, and I'm really lucky to be working under a principal who just had my job for 6 years.
Yeah.
So, again, she was the assistant principal, she now serves in the principal role, so she knows the ins and outs of my position, and I'm so lucky to have a mentor, like, right here out the gate who knows what I'm going through every day and is able to help coach me through it. Because 'cause I'm also new to the district that I serve.
Mhm.
So, switching districts alone has so much that you're learning when you're
Mhm.
starting a new position, but also like learning an entire new role. But everything falls on the principal,
Mhm.
everything. And I don't think a lot of people realize that, like, genuinely how much the principal has to handle day in and day out. And every single decision just falls back on that one person.
Mhm.
And I feel like to be their number two, to be someone who just also has their back and is ready to support in however they need, it's a great fit for me right now. And it presents its own challenges because for me, in my experience, like the assistant principal is really handling a lot of the discipline.
Mhm.
And the assistant principal is really like the front lines to like students.
Mhm.
And like that has been really cool for me also. A question I get all the time is like, do you miss teaching? Like, do you miss being in the classroom and being with kids? Like, I'm with kids all day. Like,
Yeah.
I am never not with kids. Like, I have meetings, don't get me wrong, but I am in recess, I am in the cafeteria, I am in classrooms, and it's like it really has been great. And there are parts of teaching that I miss, of course, but this role has been a really great transition.
I feel like that's the case, like, that would be my thought of being a principal
Mhm.
too, is, like, would I miss being in the classroom? Absolutely, but also, I feel like being the principal, you get that sweet spot of getting to interact with all the students in the entire school and not just your one class all day long. So you get to have positive relationships with like hundreds of kids versus just, your 25 kids in your class. Now that being said, obviously, if you're the one who's dealing with most of the discipline, it's not always happy fun time. But I mean, hopefully the discipline is not like a overwhelming aspect of the job and it's you're able to still enjoy being with kids in other aspects.
Yeah, 100%. And I feel like administrators who say like, "Oh, I wish that I was with kids," or "I wish I was still in the classroom." Like, there are a lot of ways to do that. Like, and I
Yeah.
think we think of a lot of ineffective school leaders and a lot of ineffective administrators who are ones who are, chained behind their desk all day, every day. But I feel like this new wave of admin, like this new wave of leadership, really, like, I hope are present and are visible and are in classrooms, are with kids, forming relationships, because at the end of the day, like, that makes everyone's job easier, right? When both teachers and leadership collectively are forming these amazing relationships with kids, like, that's when this works. And it's when
Mhm.
there is that disconnect where we see the problems that a lot of schools are facing.
I was gonna say, you said something there, and I just really liked it and resonate with it was this new wave of administration. Because I remember from when I was a kid, even a little bit like at the start of your career, how, like, administration was just, like, this, like, monolith thing it seemed like that was behind their desk, and you never wanted to be in the principal's office. Like, when I was in high
Mhm.
school, it was just, like, it was the worst thing. You never interacted with your principals. It was, like,
Yeah,
if you were
unless it was
there,
for something negative.
you were in trouble. There was
Yeah,
no, like, "Oh, I'm going to see the principal and, like, get advice and stuff like this," and,
right.
like, see them as, like, a mentor and things like that. But like you said, like, this new wave of administration, it's really cool and it's really exciting to see, and it's like, when, like, we're planning for our future, it makes me excited for our kid to get into the school system because it's just like, "Hey, this person is, like," it's another person in their life who can just really impact them in such a positive way.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of lawmakers need to take that into consideration when we're thinking about all these different initiatives that are constantly being doled out, and they're really bombarding principals with, having to implement all these different things instead of being able to be present in their schools and be a positive mentor or be a positive role model for teachers and for students. And I mean, I see that at my school because I teach at a very small rural district, and we have 2 principals. There's a high school junior, like a junior senior high principal, and an elementary principal, and that's it. And they're in charge of everything. Behavior, any initiatives that are happening, meetings, like all of it has to take place, on their shoulders. So they're constantly, stuck in their offices and aren't able to make it out into classrooms as often as I'm sure they would like to. So I do feel like if that's if that's what we want our new wave of leadership to be, and we want administrators to be like more of an active role in education and in the experience of the students at the school, then we also have to think about that when rolling out all of these different initiatives, because it does take a toll on administration as much as it does teachers.
100%. And like, what is our focus and what do we want to do well? Like, I
Right.
am someone who, like, I want to do the things that I have to do at a really high level successfully before I can add more things to my plate. And we all feel that way. I felt the same way when I was in the classroom.
Mhm.
Like, like, in order to add something more, we have to take something away. And
Mhm.
it's like so real. And I see that in this role. I see that in my teaching role. And when we just keep piling on and piling on, that is where we're seeing the burnout. That is where we're seeing the teacher shortages. That is where we're seeing like these huge problems. And we really do have to think critically about that if we want to be cultivating this education system that our kids really truly
Mhm.
deserve.
Absolutely. So you kind of brought it up, so I'm gonna go back to it. What is something that you miss about being in the classroom? I know you kind of, everyone has something small, even if you're like, I was made to be an administrator and I want to do this job and I'm not, I don't want to be tied down to just one group of students or one classroom. I want to be able to impact everybody. And what's something that you absolutely don't miss at all?
I love it. I mean, I obviously miss how close I got with my class. Like, I taught
Mhm.
4th grade for 6 years, and we would just be truly like a close-knit family,
Mhm.
and we would have so much fun, and we would drive each other insane, but I mean, it was so incredible, and you would, like, close out the school year, and you would say goodbye, and, I mean, there would be tears,
Oh,
like, no one
sobbing.
wanted to leave, and like, the whole in my old school, 4th grade was the oldest grade in the building, and then they would move on to the 5th and 6th grade building. So
Mhm.
it was earth-shattering. It was like the last day of summer camp if
Aw.
you're a summer camp person. Like,
Yeah.
it was like that I miss, and I don't really have that level of relationship with really like many students here. I serve 500 kids. I have 80
Yeah.
staff. Like it's just really hard when you're stretched that thin to try to form relationships with so many people. So that I definitely miss. I also miss just like I'm an over the top person. I'm sure you can hear that in my voice and like in the content that I've shared. But like when we would do like these like amazing like classroom transformations or like all out
Yes.
lessons that you just like pour your heart into, and then you see the joy on kids' faces because you
Yes.
planned that, you put that work in, and then you got to see it in real time. Like that's just the best. And or when like families would be like, my kid didn't love school and they didn't like going to school, but then they're in your class and now they finally love coming to school. Like it's like that kind of stuff. It just
That is
makes me
like
so
a
happy.
top tier compliment. Let me just say, like, if you're a parent listening to this and you truly appreciate your child's educator, just tell them that one thing, and that will be the best gift you ever give to them, because telling a teacher that, like, a kid didn't enjoy coming to school or hated going to school or whatever, and only if that's true, like, don't just say
Yeah.
that, but, like, if your child really did not enjoy going to school, and then that teacher was the difference between, fighting to get them to go to school in the morning, and now they're, like, jumping out of bed ready to hop on the bus, let them know. That will make their day. Like, I've
Yeah.
gotten that comment a couple of times, and it never ceases to make me, like, cry, because it's just like, me? Like, you're talking about me? Like, okay. Thank you.
As a teacher, you expect that your kids are going to show up every single day and they're going to be
Mhm.
there, right? But there's something to be said about them being excited to be there. And don't get me wrong,
Yes.
like Mr. Cohen's fourth grade class was not like every single kid every single day was like, oh my God, I'm so excited to be here. Like,
Oh,
I'm not
I'm
trying to,
sure
I'm
mine's the
not,
same.
that's not like that at all. But like, I do generally believe that my kids loved coming to school
Mhm.
and that they really did love being part of our class,
Mhm.
and it was something really magical. And I do believe that I have had students in my class who had really negative experiences with school prior to
Mhm.
being in my class, and then we were able to do that, and like that level of impact, because there are so many kids and so many families who have to struggle so deeply to get their kids on that bus or to
Yep.
get them in that car and then to
Mhm.
drop them off in morning routines, and then they get home from school and then you have
Yeah.
homework routines, and it is just absolutely torturous. um, but when it works, it could really be so magical.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
exactly to your point, it does not take much to make a teacher happy. Like it
Right.
is like
Right.
literally that comment of like,
The bar is on the floor. Like
it is so low, and like people get so I struggle with teacher appreciation week and like that sort of thing on social media, because you see these like incredible parents who are like preparing these amazing gifts for their teachers and like
Yeah.
all this stuff, but like the bar is so low. Like just saying that you
Mhm.
appreciate them, it means so much, because
Right.
from the parent perspective, like you might not be hearing so many positive things about your child, and you might only get that phone call home when something bad is happening. But like the teacher is that times like 25. They're dealing with so much all day every single
Mhm.
day, and they're so rarely getting the positive. And I now feel that from a leadership position of like, I wish I had the capacity to tell my people and show them how much I genuinely appreciate them, and I'm trying to do that as much as I possibly can. But I know I'm not hitting everybody to the extent that I should. And I know there are so many phenomenal teachers who I work with every single day who are just like mind-blowingly amazing, and I do
Mhm.
not tell them that nearly enough. So like for a parent to tell that to a teacher, like it just goes so far.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like, because I know you're not in education,
Yeah.
Jordan, but I feel like that goes for, like, any career in general. Just, like, I
Yes.
don't think
Yeah.
we express to each other enough how appreciative we are of our colleagues or our coworkers,
Mhm.
and, like, just how much of a difference it makes in your day when someone comes up to you and just says that you're doing a good job.
Oh, yeah.
Or, like, that you're, what you do matters, because sometimes we just feel so, like, our jobs are so mundane, or, like, we just feel like we're not making a difference, but when somebody, like, takes a minute out of their day to tell you that,
Yeah.
I feel like it makes all the difference in the world.
And I was gonna say, at least, like, because I work in nonprofit,
Mm.
and I can say on, like, the corporate end of it, like, I agree with that a lot, because it's weird how when you hit adulthood and adult life and everything, like, not that y like, you're searching for like appreciations and attaboys like all day long and everything, but it almost like kind of stops because it's just expected of you to do a good job and do like these things and go above and beyond, especially in like the corporate business side of the world and everything. And usually it's just like, okay, like you're only getting those like talks normally if you're doing something wrong, never if you're doing something right. So yeah, like as an adult, like I think we should just like, hey, like tell people like, hey, you're doing a good job more often, just because, I feel like it just becomes that just like expected norm of us just to be doing great all the time and nobody ever
I feel like
appreciates
your
like, hey,
boss I feel like your direct boss, like,
yeah,
does a
she
good
does a
an
good job
okay
of
like,
that.
I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. I hear things, like, when you're working from home and I, like, happen to have the school day off or whatever,
Yeah.
and, like, you have phone calls with her sometimes if I can hear them, like, and she's like, "Oh, Jordan, you're doing so great." Like, I'm like, "I love her. She's great."
Yes. No, she's awesome. So I do have a very good boss that like does try and do that as much as he can. So
And I think okay, so last week we talked with Principal Lamb and his wife Brenna, and I know that like he's kind of like a role model of yours, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And like when I describe the new wave of leadership, like I feel like he is just paving that path. And it's
Yes.
like the content that he creates is so important and it's like so essential in this like education landscape. And I'm so happy that he made the decision to pick up a camera and to start recording because he has had such a tremendous impact on me and on the work that I do. And I feel like it's just really, really great that like the greater education world is seeing that work because I think for far too long we did have this narrative of what the principal looks like and what the teacher looks like. And the national report card just came out yesterday or 2 days ago. And we are so behind where we should be. Like if when we look at this data of 4th and 8th graders in this country and where we were pre-pandemic, where we are post-pandemic and everything that we're currently experiencing, like the current system isn't working. Like
Right.
what we currently are living in and working with, it's not working and
Mhm.
a lot has to change.
mhm,
But something that really excites me are leaders like him who are really, really leading the way for what I think leadership needs to look like in our schools.
mhm.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And like to that point, something that like and I'm sure I think it's a statewide issue if not a national issue, but chronic absenteeism.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Like chronic absenteeism is just killing us over
Shout out
here.
to the Cleveland Browns and all their work
Yes.
that they're doing
Yeah.
to combat absenteeism for real. Yeah.
Educate me. I don't know about this. What is this?
Yeah, no, the Cleveland Browns have their entire like foundation this year focused on school attendance and getting kids in schools. And I was like super honored to like be part of that in like the
That
Oh my
smallest way
is
possible.
god.
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, yeah. And they're doing some really important work when it comes to attendance. And their whole mission is called Stay in the Game.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
they're working all throughout Northeast Ohio to help
Oh
kids
my
stay in the
gosh.
game and like show up to school every day. So they're doing visits with Browns players and with the team.
That is incredible. I love that they're focusing on
Oh, absolutely.
attendance, on school attendance because
Hmm.
it seriously is I feel like one of the major issues right now in our school. And that's the thing is sometimes like when you're talking about like for some of these students like getting them to school can be such a challenge or getting to school for themselves can be such a challenge just because of where they live or the family that they have or whatever challenges they're dealing with in their own personal lives. And sometimes and I'm going to be honest about this, sometimes for me like it as a teacher still in a classroom, it gets frustrating when you have kids that are absent for days on end and then like when they show up, like we need to be like celebrating that they're there.
Hmm.
Like not, being like, "Oh, well, you're back." We need to be like, "Hey, I missed you. Where were you?"
Right. You
Or
missed our testing. Exactly.
yeah, right. Like no, we need to make them feel like, they're a part of the team and we miss them when they're not here. And like that's something that I actively want to continue to try and make a point to do. Like I've been really trying hard to like when a kid shows up late to school or whatever, not be like negative about it and flip it and make it something positive instead or be like, "Oh, I'm glad you're finally here." To
Yeah.
make them feel like welcome and feel like they're needed almost in the classroom for it to be whole.
Yeah.
So
In our elementary world too, like student attendance is not a student issue. Like
exactly.
it so rarely falls on the child when
Right.
we're talking about attendance, especially in our elementary landscape. Like we're talking about what that family is experiencing, what the family is going through, what their education looks like, and the value of school
Mhm.
also. Kids show up however, like they're dropped off, they're put on a bus whenever they can, like, and so
Mhm.
these types of routines and these types of habits and the priority of school in general is like a huge education gap that we're seeing now too,
Yeah.
with our kids who are chronically absent.
Yeah. And I have all the respect in the world because I know I have students of my own that have to wake themselves up and get themselves dressed and eat breakfast themselves and get themselves on the bus to be able to attend school every day. And I just remember 8-year-old Lauren getting ripped out of her bed every morning by my mother and like yelled at to get in the bathroom and start getting ready. And my butt used to go back. I would go in the bathroom and in my mom's bedroom, her bathroom is like a smaller bathroom and the heating vent was like right there. So the bathroom was always very warm in the morning. So I'd literally go sit my butt on the bathroom floor and go back to sleep. And I know my mom used to like get in there and start yelling at me and be like, "Get up! It's time to go to school." And, like,
Yeah.
but like these kids are so dedicated to getting themselves up. They're like little adults and they shouldn't have to be. And it's like it just breaks my heart that they have to be the ones that are responsible for themselves getting to school. And that's commendable that they do that in the first place. But like
Yeah.
we need to celebrate when students come to school in general.
I say this all the time, but I had phenomenal teachers growing up.
Mhm.
Like year after year, I would have just the most amazing teachers. I also just I like was like a great student. Like I really was like a student that teachers liked.
Mhm.
Um and regardless of that though, I had two amazing parents
Mhm.
who, like, no matter what, if I had the worst education ever, were going to do everything in their power to make sure I turned out okay. And I was super lucky that on top of that, I had this like amazing education. And so my parents were making sure that I was at school every single day and they were making sure that I had everything that I needed every single day. And they were so on top of my work and my home. Like they were driving this bus literally for me.
Yeah.
And I think about how many kids that I work with every single day who have a situation that looks dramatically different.
Yeah.
And how the most incredible teachers who are working tirelessly to do the most phenomenal work can only impact so much and
Mhm.
can only touch so much for the life of a child, that when we talk about this issue of attendance, there are so many underlying factors when we think
Mhm.
about like our greater education system and our country in general, right? And what that means for kids. So you really got me
Absolutely.
going there.
No,
No.
I appreciate that because that's like I mean that's a chronic issue across the country right now. And I feel like as a whole, not only do we need to support families and support their like educating them to understand the importance of attending school, because I think that, even before the pandemic, attendance has always been an issue.
Hmm.
I think the pandemic definitely exacerbated that. But I don't think parents, the majority of parents or families, are, you know, purposely not sending their kids to school for the point of not educating them. I think that there's just a lack of knowledge there on families' ends, but because the schools are not educating families on the impact that not attending school can have on a child's education. I mean, I remember from my first year teaching, we every open house we would have like a parent meeting at the beginning of open house, and all the parents would come into the cafeteria and the our principal would like give a little speech and like welcome them in and everything, and then she would straight up just drop some truth bombs on them and be like, hey, your kid can miss maybe 2 days per quarter before they start falling behind academically, x amount of, hours or whatever. And like, that was so eye-opening to me because, like, even as an educator, like, I never thought of it like that. Because I also grew up in a household where, you know, my parents were very on top of my education, and I always had what I needed. And, you know, my parents, I was very privileged to grow up in a house where my parents forced me to go to school even when I didn't want to go to school. And it, you know, I'm thankful for that. But I think that, like, as educators and administrators, we can do a better job of informing parents and guardians of what they can do to help support their child through their education journey, you know, whether that's at home or just getting them to the building so that we can, you know, help them learn. But it's definitely an issue that, you know, is going to take time to recover from, and it's going to take time to fix. But we have to start looking at education as like a team sport. Like we're all in this game together. We're all on the Browns team together.
Oh, no, not that team.
Yeah.
Listen, win or lose, we're all in education together.
You might, for this metaphor, want to pick any other team.
We're going to Ohio State. Let's go with the national champ.
There you go.
Okay,
Ohio
okay.
State.
That team.
Okay, we're all the Ohio State Buckeyes, and we all need to get to the championship game. I'm not a sports person, but
You're doing great.
Thank you.
You're
You're
doing
there.
great.
thank you,
you're there.
thank you. I try, but we're all on the same team, and I think that's, you know, that's the goal of the message I'm trying to get across here. But with my very bad metaphor.
Yeah, I agree with you. When you look at education, like you brought up with the national report card, because I remember reading the article that reading comprehension, literacy, it's been on a downslide for years.
Yeah.
And this isn't a new problem, but like you've both kind of pointed out, and it's shown through the data, is everything. It's such a systemic problem. There's so many fires going on at once that I think this idea of, all right, we're going to have to put out this massive fire. What is one thing we can do right now that's going to make a big impact to lead to the next fire being put out, and so on. And I think
Yeah.
like having these discussions and everything are so important, because it might not be. I mean, I'm, at least from my end, I'm not a professional educator, so I don't know what I'm talking about. But at least like it sparks creativity, or it sparks an idea that somebody is like, okay, it might not be this, let's think about it like this, and that could be the idea that leads to it and everything. So actually having these discussions does so much more than I think some people give credit for. So
Yeah. And going back to your, like, putting out multiple fires thing, I think we should just all buy that fire blanket off TikTok shop, and we can just, you know, when we see a fire, we just waft it
we're
open.
just dropping blankets everywhere.
Yeah, we'll just throw blankets on top of it and put out the fires that way. No. Yeah, no, I think you're right. Like, just we need to talk about it more, and we need to be okay with talking about the fact that it is a broken system. And, you know, like, I think something that's really scary for teachers to talk about is the fact that, like, our education system is broken. We do need to fix things. But you know, it's like what you said. There are so many little fires here and there. We need to pick a focus area, and, you know, have all of our efforts be towards fixing this thing and then moving on to the other fires. I think just like right now, at least how it feels on the educator side, there's a lot of House bills just getting slapped around here and there to try and put out fires. But they're not putting out the right fires. And so therefore it's just, you know, stopping nothing from happening. Like, I don't know how, like, okay, so you guys also, since you're in Ohio, would have been impacted by House Bill 33, right?
Mhm.
Did you guys have to adopt a new curriculum this year, or are you guys doing it next year?
No, the entire district adopted a new curriculum for this year,
Okay, we
and
did
rolled
too.
it out for the entire district. And my old district did the same for this school year. That is one of your fire blankets.
Yes.
Just one.
Yes.
The fire
One
blanket.
fire blanket.
A single fire blanket.
Which one did you guys go with?
So we have Into Reading, Into
don't think
Math,
I've seen-
HMH.
I don't think, yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think that was one of the ones we looked at. We got Savis or
Okay.
Savis. I don't ever know how to say it. It's called My View.
Okay.
It's interesting.
I wish I owned a phonics-based curriculum. Those companies are doing great.
Listen, the amount of money that these companies they made out like a bandit in the night this year. They are
Incredible.
just, oh,
Everyone bought in and it worked. It's good.
yes, it did. I want to know how they got on the list. How'd they
Yeah.
get on the approved list?
Who did you know? Who got you on that list?
It's like a list for a club. Like you have to know
Yeah,
somebody.
and if you're not on the list, you don't exist.
Right.
Oh God, you are
Right.
gone. I feel so sad for all of you not on the list.
Right. Oh, it was a rough one, guys. Like going through these curriculums. Cause like you don't get a chance to like pilot any of them. It was just kind of like, okay,
We like flipped through them.
right. It's like, oh, this
looks
one
nice.
This looks nice. Has all the pieces I need. Okay, how about that?
It's because we're moving so fast.
Yes.
All the time. It's one of the biggest challenges that I have in this profession. I
Mhm.
mean, like, thankfully, I like can tread water quickly, but like we are moving so incredibly fast. It's not sustainable. It's not healthy, and it's not working. Like that is why
Yeah,
we're
teachers
seeing.
have to be adaptable like no other.
Yeah, it's so ineffective because we need people who are present. We
Yeah.
need people who are like really in the moment, who are able to listen like so deeply. And then back to the point that I feel like you were getting at with your fire blankets, which I just wanted to like get on. And I'm not trying to make this too deep of a podcast. And I'm so sorry.
No,
that this
you're
is the
fine.
guest that you
Listen,
got.
no, we
but-
have deep episodes, and then we have like episodes that go back and forth, and we have funny. This podcast is the We Are Fine podcast, and it's just we're fine. Like we'll
No, you
talk
got
about
me-
everything.
You got me after a day. I'm just saying. But
No.
we have people who are going into the field of education because they want to be a teacher. And I think it's like equally important that we have people going into the field of education who want to be a teacher, who want to fix a broken system. And like that is an unfortunate reality. I will state that fact. Like we
Mhm.
shouldn't have to be doing that. Like we shouldn't have a profession where we need people going into it who are like equipped for battle, who are like
Mhm.
ready to navigate all of these challenges that you just pointed out, right? But when anyone messages me or when anyone asks me, or I had a student teacher last year, like anytime I like am afforded the opportunity to talk to an aspiring educator, I think we owe it to them to be real.
Yeah.
Because like what we are currently experiencing is real.
Yeah.
And we need people who get that deeply and who are ready to be part of it.
And
Because
care.
who care? And like I find it incredibly rewarding. I find it exhausting and challenging and all of those things too. But like having the right people who are bought in and understand what they're actually
Mhm.
getting themselves into, I think is so essential to like being able to actually function.
I
So,
agree.
yeah.
I take student teachers every single year. Like I have what is it called? A preclinical teacher last semester. And then she's currently doing her like special ed round of student teaching right now. And then like last 8 weeks of school, she comes to me for her like general ed student teaching experience. So I wholeheartedly agree. We need good teachers in the field. We really do. But we also need to be realistic with them about what they're getting into. And we need them to care. Because if we have, like, it's just a fact of life. There are going to be teachers in every building, ones who teaching is their passion, it's the love of their life, it is what they were put on this earth to do. And they put their whole heart into everything they do. And then we have some teachers who might not feel that way, and that's okay. But we need the teachers that care to help us with the load. Like, we need them to help us carry the load because otherwise, nothing is ever going to get fixed.
Mhm.
If we don't have people that truly care about what we're doing and trying to better society and trying to, raise a generation of intelligent human beings who are kind and who also have the stamina and work ethic to contribute to society. And I just agree with that whole thing you just said. Like it's so important. And It is exhausting. It is. And there are days when you are, like you said, you had a day. There are days when you just sit there and you're like, why do I do what I do? Like, why am I doing this? And then you have those other days where it all makes sense
Yeah.
and it clicks and just makes everything worth it. So, ugh, ugh, I feel so tired this year. I'm just so tired all the time, and I'm tired of having to fight the good fight all the time.
God.
It's it's a worthy cause, but I'm tired.
Hmm. We're
Okay.
fine.
We're
Yeah, we're
fine.
fine.
We're fine. We're fine. Okay, before we take a break and go into our game, because I'm super excited for this, because I hope you crush Jordan in this game.
You want everyone to beat me.
I know. It's just fun for me.
Oh, yeah.
It's just fun for me. I want you to tell your story about your teacher, is it Mr. Ladder or Mr. Later?
Mr. Later.
Mr.
I'm so
Later.
excited.
Tell us about Mr.
I'm
Later.
excited. I loved that you asked that question, and I love that I get to share about him. No, I was super lucky to have a teacher for 3 years in high school, which I feel like is super abnormal.
That is. That's
Um,
Yeah,
awesome.
3 years. Wow.
yeah, I had him for my freshman science class, and then he taught biology, and then he taught AP biology.
Oh, nice.
So I had
Sweet.
him freshman, sophomore, senior year, and he was also the cross country coach, and I
Okay.
ran cross country. So cross country was before the year started, and we would have cross country practice leading up to freshman year, and the transition to high school is obviously a very overwhelming
Mhm.
Yes.
moment for everyone.
Yes.
And I connected with him out the gate because he was someone who understood how to form relationships with ninth graders, kids, whatever you want to call them, strange humans. And gave me the feeling of excitement of coming to high school. And it's like that feeling of already knowing my teacher and already feeling like I have that relationship and someone who has my back. And that feeling then inspired me to become that person for my students. I also never really had a male teacher in my life who played that role. Growing up in elementary school, never had a male teacher. And then never in middle school, I had some male teachers, but never connected with someone until Mr. Later. And I think about my students now who don't have that positive male role model in their life. And how I get to potentially be that person for them and what that means. Having that role is so important. And I feel like for me, I was really lucky to have someone like that with Mr. Later, but I was also really lucky to have such a supportive family. And then I got to have him again in 10th grade and then again in 12th grade. And then I became someone who wrote my, recommendation letter for college. And at that time, which this is a whole nother story, I thought I was going to go into medicine because I wanted to be a pediatrician, because I knew I loved working with kids. But then I also loved watching Grey's Anatomy. So to me, pre-med was my route, and I wanted to
Yeah.
also make money. So that I don't know who I was, but
Neither did I. I feel like go ahead.
I was gonna say I went on that exact same journey when I was in high school. I was very much like you. I was because I did AP Bio, AP.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it was college and high school in our school district that I went through, but it was college and high school, Chem and Bio and everything. I did the whole I'm gonna do pre-medicine. I wanted to be an anesthesiologist so bad. That's what I was dead set on, because it was that thing where I was like, oh, I get to help people and I get to make a lot of money.
Mhm.
And I wish a lot more, at least in my district that I grew up in, so much more went into finding out who you were as a human,
Mhm.
because it's just everything was associated with money. That was
Mhm.
oh, what are you gonna what's gonna make the most money? Are you really smart? This is what you should do. And it was just kind of handed to you. So yeah, I that journey of the whole I'm gonna do pre-med and then going to college and then really starting to figure out who you are and being I don't want to do this.
I
Mhm.
know. I feel like that too. I feel like career exploration is really it's not done enough. And not that I wouldn't go into education all over again, because
Mhm.
I probably would, but I feel like when I was graduating, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I had I was the same as you. I was a good student all through school. I was a goody two shoes. I had good relationships with my teachers. I genuinely enjoyed going to school, and I feel like I didn't know anything else. Like I didn't know what else I wanted to do with my life. So for a hot minute there, I wanted to go to school to be a lawyer, and I I don't know why I changed my mind, like what changed my mind about
Mhm.
that, but that's what I was planning on doing in my senior year of high school. And then I kept going back and forth. I think it was my mom who was like, "You should go be a teacher or you should do education," or something like that. And I remember going back and job shadowing my kindergarten teacher because I had loved her. Name was Mrs. Schnernberger. I loved her. She was so sweet.
We're gonna have to send this to all of our old
I
teachers.
know, I know. I loved her, so I job shadowed her, and then I kinda had a similar experience to you in high school. So my freshman English teacher, her name was Miss Folsom at the time, but now she's Mrs. Reed. She actually got me into speech and debate,
Oh,
and
what event did you do?
oh, did you do speech?
Come
Oh
on.
my
Yeah.
god. Wait, okay, what year did you graduate?
2014.
Okay, so we're not that far off. I graduated in 2012.
Okay.
Okay,
Did
I
we go
did.
to States together?
We might have. We very well might have. So I did prose and poetry.
Okay, I did
What'd you do?
duo.
Oh my God. Okay, hold on. This is gonna, guys. I'm so
Oh
sorry.
God, we're gonna get on a rail
I'm
here.
gonna. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna nerd out for a minute here.
We'll cut this out. It's fine.
No, because there might be other speechies out there. Okay,
This is output. This is for them.
did we just become best friends?
I think so.
I think we did. Anyway, but yeah, I feel the same way. So going back to what I was saying, I did speech and debate, and my English teacher, she was the one that was like, "You should try out for the team." And so I did speech and debate. She
My
was
English
my
teacher
coach.
also coached. Yep.
See, there it is.
Mhm.
She was my coach all 4 years. So even though I didn't have her in class for 4 years, I got to stay with her
Yeah.
and I was mentored by her for that entire time I was in high school, and that was a huge deal for me also, which I feel like definitely impacted my decision to go into education. But eh, having a teacher like that in your life is so important. I feel like everybody, I want everyone to have that experience. I know not everybody will, but my hope for every child going through our education system is that they find that one teacher that they click with and that they can build that relationship with, and that can help impact their experience in education. So I'm glad that you had Mr. Later in your life, and I'm glad you were speechy because that just
Me
ah,
too. And I completely agree. And I think that takes me back to like the Rita Pearson video of like every kid deserves a champion. And like
mhm,
every single person deserves, like every kid deserves the person who's rooting for them.
mhm.
And that is where I also hope to be in that like new wave of administration of like, it doesn't have to be the teacher. It doesn't have to be like, it could be a paraprofessional. It could be someone in the cafeteria. It could be a coach. It could be
Yes.
like someone in that building like deserves to be there for that kid. That kid deserves to have someone there for them, because every single person needs that.
Absolutely. And on that note, we're going to take a quick break, and
Yeah.
then we'll be right back with a fun little game.
I'm scared.
All right, guys. So we are back. Yes, we nerded out over speech some more while we took a break. And I had to go and be like, look at all my plaques from speech.
She's showing me plaques. Yeah.
Because I
You
love
should brush your
speech.
teeth more then.
Really?
That was good.
That was a
That was
good one.
good.
That was a good one.
Sorry.
Yeah.
For a second, that one hurt.
You don't have to pretend that was.
And then it went, and it was gonna go like this right
Yeah.
over my head, and then it
Mm.
just fell right back down in my face, and I was like,
Oh.
"Oh, okay."
I'll let you two work through that later.
No,
Yeah.
and this is why I'm the game show host.
Yep.
Because I want to make you do all the thinking.
No.
Okay, so today we are playing Are You Smarter Than AI? And in this game, we asked AI to come up with various academic questions from grade levels kindergarten through 12th. And we're going to go back and forth between Kyle and Jordan and see who can answer the most correct.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right, let's do this. So I think we should let our guest go first.
I'm fine with that.
All right. So
nice of you.
So Kyle, your question is a kindergarten question.
Okay.
What do you call a baby cat?
A kitten?
Ding 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 ding.
It was almost like, is kitten an official term?
Okay. I'm not going to lie. My brain did the same thing. I was just like,
Is there
wait,
like a proper
is
term
that
for
right?
kitten?
I don't know.
All right, so that's
Okay.
1 point for Kyle, and
I'm
Rob,
dripping sweat.
Rob,
Oh,
our
God.
producer, will hopefully keep track of the points for me. Okay, so point for Kyle.
Okay.
All right, on to the first grade level.
First
Jordan,
grade. Okay.
what coin is worth 25 cents?
That is a first grade question.
Quarter.
Actually, it's a dime.
Dang it.
No, I'm kidding. All right, 1 point for Jordan, I guess.
All right. Starting off easy. I think we're doing good.
Starting off smooth. Okay, Kyle, second grade. Ooh. This means if we continue on our little pattern here, he'll get back to his 4th grade level content.
Oh.
Ooh,
Look at
I'm
that.
actually having a fun time assessing if this is a proper question for that grade. But carry
Yeah,
on.
no, me too. I'm okay. That
Like,
I'm
what's
glad.
the standard in that question? Okay.
Right? I'm glad I'm not the only one that's like thinking about that. Okay, so second
I'm like
grade.
ready for my phonics. All right, hit me.
Yes. What season comes after summer?
Oh, I'm gonna go with autumn, fall.
Ding,
I don't
ding,
know.
ding. Ooh, and he even gave us 2 answers.
I don't know what's the
He
proper
gave
term.
us synonyms.
Mm.
Okay, so we're tied so far, but
Okay.
I feel like maybe that will go away when we get into the upper grade levels. At least I'm hoping. Otherwise, we have to do a tiebreaker of some
Oh,
sort.
no.
Okay,
I'll have to
Jordan.
ask AI.
Yeah.
We'll have to ask AI. 3rd grade level.
Third grade. Let's do it.
What is 7 times 8?
7 times 8. That would be. Oh man.
Do you forget your times
I
tables?
forget my times tables. Hold on.
You forget your quick facts.
I do forget.
So
my quick-
funny that I just live in my multiplication facts.
Right?
I need a calculator. Oh,
Right
God.
now, my students are learning standard algorithm for like double digit multiplication and
Nice.
long division. And so right now, like they're really into challenging me and my co-teacher. So when they're waiting for the buses at the end of the day, they'll be like, I challenge you, Mrs. Woolley. And then we'll do like a standard algorithm problem on the board. And I always smoke them because they're just learning, but they find it so funny. So like, I'll do the problem really, really fast and like beat them. And then I just go, thank you for playing. And then I walk away.
Is it 54?
But they get that. I mean, they get it right. They just need extra time.
54.
It's not.
That's incorrect. Do you really not know 7 times 8?
Do I get to steal?
With like a calculator, I could get there.
Yeah, you do get to steal. 7
it's
times 8.
56.
56. Okay.
So
2
close.
off.
So close.
We would do for long division, we would do for 4th grade, it was multi-digit by 1 digit. And we would do whoever could solve the longest multi-digit by 1 digit problem would like win. And we would get to the point where it would be like 50, 60, 70, 80 numbers
Oh my
long
gosh.
by a 1 digit number. And they would be like taping pieces of paper together because you couldn't physically fit it on one page. And we had a student last year, biggest one ever in like my 6 years, who had multiple poster boards like taped together, like CVS poster boards. And it took us like an entire recess period to check the work.
This is amazing.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay. That is dedication on the part of that student. But
yeah, their entire family, it was a whole effort. I give it to them. They won. It was great. Congratulations.
I can't imagine how long that would have taken.
Yeah. Oh, they worked on it for a long time.
Jeez, Louise. Okay, so I think that is 1, 2, 3 points to Kyle right now.
Oh.
To Jordan's 1 point.
No.
Oof. In the elementary grades, Jordan.
I don't remember my multiplication quick facts. It's why I have a calculator. Like,
Shame.
you can shame me all you want.
No, I'm teasing you. Okay. Kyle, 4th grade. What is the capital of California? Ooh, I feel like I would not have gotten this correct.
It's Sacramento.
Dang
Ding,
it.
ding, ding. You're correct.
Got it.
I don't know that I would have gotten that right because I'm not going to
Really?
lie. Yeah, I don't know that I know all of my state capitals by memory.
Yeah.
I don't think I do.
Which was I don't think it was not a 4th grade standard.
I don't believe that it is.
I
It's
remember
not a
learning
5th
that
grade standard.
We had to learn that for like I was in APUS. Like we had to know that for that.
See, I feel like I remember learning it in elementary school at some point. Like I remember learning the state capitals at some point, but I don't remember what grade level.
Yeah.
But I know
Jill
for
from
a fact
Hello
it's not a
Fifth.
fifth
Do you
grade
follow
one.
Jill
Yes.
on Instagram? She does like all the state stuff. So like
listen,
she does tons for 5th grade.
I follow her religiously on and I use a lot of her resources.
She's the queen.
She is the queen. I don't know how she fits everything that she fits into her day. Her and Fancy Nancy, they both blow me out of the water. I know.
could talk about the two of them
Right?
for so long.
Right?
Like also Jill is so amazing because like I tune into her stories like a TV show.
Yeah.
Like I have learned more from that woman's Instagram stories than I did in any PD I've ever taken.
I just love her. Good morning, friends. Every morning.
Yeah, and she's literally holding her phone up against her Diet Coke can, and it's just like, it's so
That's
pure.
so relatable because I put my phone up against my Stanley Cup.
It falls
my
down.
desk.
I can't do that.
It depends on the phone case.
Mm.
Anyway. All right, so that is now Kyle 4 points.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4 points.
Okay.
To your 1 point.
Now starts the comeback.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, now I'm out of my wheelhouse, so good luck.
5th grade. What is the longest river in the world?
It's the Nile, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
Good
Because
job.
the Amazon's the widest.
Yes, and in the Nile, at least I think so. And then the Nile is the longest.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So that's 2 points.
2.
Yay!
You could say that I'm in denial for losing.
Oh my god, get out of here. All right, Kyle, 6th grade level. Oh, I feel like this is not a 6th grade question. Who invented the light bulb?
I don't think so either.
This is not a 6th grade.
Thomas Edison.
Thomas Edison is correct. I feel like that is more of like a 3rd or 4th grade question.
I also think he technically stole it too.
Yeah,
he did not
didn't he?
invent it.
Yeah, there's history there.
Yeah, there's a lot of history there.
tea.
Or didn't he invent like the filament? There's like something he invented.
Yeah,
I don't
the
know.
filament
Like
for
the
the
light bulb
incandescent light bulb.
existed, and then I don't want to say. Also, it wasn't him. He had a company, and then he took credit for other people's work. So
Sounds about
that's
right.
a whole thing.
An entrepreneur.
Yes, he was an entrepreneur for the light bulb.
Oh, good old Thomas Edison. All right.
I just also, speaking of
Yeah.
the Topsy episode of
Oh
Bob's
my gosh.
Burgers
Do you watch Bob's Burgers?
No, I don't.
Okay. If you
Our first thing we don't have in common. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
It's okay. You don't have to. But if you want to watch a funny show, Bob's Burgers is really funny. And there's an episode where they spill the tea about Thomas Edison. And it's called...
He killed an elephant.
Yeah. He electrocuted an elephant. But he... it was... The elephant's name was Topsy?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's all about that. And it's like a musical, so it's funny.
Mm.
But yeah, okay. So 7th grade... On to you, Jordan.
Okay.
What? This is also not a 7th grade question. AI, what are you doing? This is a 5th grade question.
Okay.
What is the process by which plants make their own food?
Photosynthesis.
Correct. Okay, I just taught this in our ecosystems unit about producers. Ugh. 7th grade. All right. 8th grade level. Kyle, what does DNA stand for?
Oh.
You got
It's some-
this. You got this. I believe in you.
It's something nucleic acid.
Yes.
Uh,
Come on, Kyle. You're so close.
it's like deoxy? Nucleic acid?
Oh, you're so
Half a
close.
point?
I'll give a half a point for that. I'll
What
give a
is
half a
it?
point.
How do you say it?
Well, hold on. Since I let you steal the
Oh,
one
yeah, that is
question, I guess
steal.
I'll let Jordan steal.
Because I'm at like deoxide.
You don't know either?
I know it's like something.
You guys are both
nucleic
really
acid.
close. Okay, it's deoxyribonucleic
Yep.
acid.
I was really confident of nucleic acid.
Yeah, it's the ribo. Like that's deoxyribo.
It should be DRNA. It's
It
too long of
should.
a word to just warrant one letter.
I agree. We should call the science people and tell them to change it. Okay, Jordan.
Yo, Einstein.
Yo, science
fix this.
people. Change this to DRNA.
And pay teachers more.
Yeah.
Pay us more. We teach your information. Ninth
me with
grade. How many bones are in the adult human body?
Oh, shoot.
Let's go. Where are those biology skills? Pre-med. Fun fact. I
There
don't
was
know
a
if you've talked
time-
about this before, but Jordan, once upon a time, was pre-med.
There was a
and
time
changed
when
his
I could
mind.
name them all, too. That was
You
like,
could name 206 bones.
hey, thanks, 206.
She just gave the answer. You didn't want to play
No!
host.
I didn't mean to do that. No.
Who gets the point?
Me. I get the point.
We're fine.
It's a good thing because I was gonna guess. For some reason I had in my mind 235.
I was
Oh.
going to say 210.
Yeah, because I knew it was
Sorry,
200.
I didn't mean to just give away. See, this is why I don't host a real game show.
But no, there was a time. It was a part of like
Could
when I
you
was in
really
college.
list 206 bones?
We had to for. Okay, so
I think
my
I only
first-
know like 6.
my first major after pre-med was nursing, and
Okay.
it was like anatomy of nursing and everything. For our final, we had to name every single. It was a test of about like 100 questions, and they had different bones just laying out on a table,
Ooh.
and then certain harder ones like your hands, like because there's a ton of bones in your hands
Yeah.
and feet. It would just be like labeled with like a
Inside your
sticky thing. It's like which
phalanges.
bone is this? So yeah, there was a time when I used to be able to name 206 bones.
I feel like I only know a handful, and it's because of that one Hannah Montana episode where she
Mhm.
sang the Bone song.
Yep.
We're doing the bone dance. We study the answers again and again till we get it
I think I
right.
should get that pity point though, because I gotcha.
Fine. I'll give you the point, but
You
Yay.
can have the half point.
Yay!
okay, you can
Give
have
me
the
half
half.
Each
point.
have a half
Literally,
point.
I can't believe I did that. I was just so shocked that you could name all of
Wait,
them.
You can name all 206? Really?
I'm sorry. Oh, I failed.
All
Okay.
right. Read the question and give me my answer.
Okay. 10th grade. What is the largest organ in the human body? I feel like we're heavy on the science questions today.
I like it though.
Last time we were heavy on the history and government questions.
We
Is-
were.
Is skin an organ?
Is that your answer?
Yes.
That
Dang
is
it!
correct.
Dang it! I thought I was gonna get a chance to steal.
No, it is the skin. Your skin is an organ.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Jordan.
It's a funny word. Epidermis.
Epidermis.
I've lost it.
Oh my gosh. That's the point of the day that it is. All right, 11th grade.
bedtime.
It is bedtime. What is a Shakespearean sonnet's rhyme scheme?
Oh, okay. Now I'm.
I'm just going to tell you right now. There's no way, unless you just recently studied Shakespearean sonnets, that you memorized this rhyme scheme. Absolutely.
Okay.
As
if it's
a
that hard,
literature connoisseur, there's no way I would have known this or remembered it.
is the answer like a B, B, C, D, B?
That's how you. Yeah, that's
Okay,
rhyme
so
scheme.
that's what the rhyme scheme's supposed to be. Okay,
That is rhyme scheme.
We're narrowing down the answer pool here. So I'm just
letters.
gonna
Yes.
Letters. It is letters.
English letters.
It is alphabet letters.
Is it A?
Ooh.
A?
Eh.
Dang it.
All right, for the steal.
No.
Just straight
No.
no.
I also
Nope.
know it's letters.
Yeah.
I teach rhyme
Alphabet
scheme.
letters. Yeah, I definitely have taught rhyme
Just
scheme.
not Shakespearean sonnets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, you ready for this one?
Okay, what is it?
The rhyme scheme of a Shakespearean sonnet.
Is this like all his sonnets?
Well, that would be a sonnet is a type of poem.
Yeah, but it's saying a Shakespearean sonnet. Like this man just didn't feel the need to change up his pattern. He was just like, we're just gonna do them all this way.
All the sonnets, apparently, yeah.
What a loser.
Boring.
God.
We stood in front of this man's grave. Well, no,
Yeah.
not his grave, but like a memorial.
His plays, historic. His sonnets.
Ugh, I like his sonnets. Okay. The rhyme scheme is A, B, A, B, C, D, C, D, E, F, E, F, G, G. Like I said, there's no way.
How was this? I assumed it was gonna be like the 4-line stanza, and that was like, okay,
Nope.
who's gonna repeat?
It's, I'm assuming, yeah, because each of those would be their own stanza, I'm
Yeah.
assuming. Or, they might not be. It's been a minute since I've read a sonnet, so. Well, there it is. There's the rhyme scheme.
At first, I was gonna say iambic pentameter. I was like, wait,
That's a Shakespeare word, right?
Yeah.
Iambic pentameter.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that is, in fact, a Shakespeare word. All right, for all the marbles.
All the marbles.
12th grade. What is the difference between mitosis and meiosis?
It's about it's biology, chromosomes, and like breaking down cells. Yeah, I don't know the difference.
Okay. We were in the right wheelhouse, at least.
Like, I'm in the right genre of school.
We are in the right genre of school. Okay. Steel?
I'm trying to remember if it's when a cell replicates, if it's the nucleus splits in half for mitosis before the cell breaks apart, and then if the cell, the nucleus splits.
Nucleus.
Nucle.
Is
What?
it one splits in 2 and then
Nucleus.
one splits in 4?
Yeah,
We just helped each other.
we did.
Okay,
we
so
got
you
there.
share the
We got
point.
there.
You each get a half a point.
Yay!
Okay, I'll do that. I think it's
has been
impressive that
so
you
long.
even remembered the numbers that are related to it.
Well, I
'cause
said one
I had
splits
no
in half
idea.
and then
Yep.
one splits in half again.
Yeah.
Nope. I don't recall. Well, no, you're right. I'm just saying. I'm saying I would have been like, nope. I
It's all
don't know.
it all goes back to Mr. Later.
There you go.
All
See
leads back.
those bio lessons. Mitosis results in 2 identical cells.
Yes.
Mhm.
Meiosis results in 4 genetically different cells.
Mm.
I remember learning about that. Don't remember it at all. Nor did I ever need to.
12th graders
Yep.
consume so much knowledge
Yes.
that, in that period of life, only exists in your brain for that period of life.
Yes.
I think about how,
Yeah.
I did calculus at one point in time successfully.
Couldn't be me.
And,
Yes.
I don't know who
Could
that
not be
version of
me.
myself was.
I was gonna say
Uh-huh.
that 4-year span of
Mhm.
Senior year of high school to college, the smartest I've ever been. I have lost so much knowledge since then, just because not doing it anymore.
Yeah, it's that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. But then
Yeah.
my capacity in other areas is just wildly great. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's just
Right?
so weird.
Okay, I feel so dumb when it comes to certain random knowledge and random facts about things like that. Like the names of bones in my body. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I know maybe 5 of them. Or like meiosis versus mitosis. I don't teach that, so I don't know it.
Yeah.
Like, but my students will ask me certain things about other things, and I'm like, yes, and they're like, you're so smart. I'm like, nope, I just know some things. Like, but our winner is Kyle with a whopping 7 points, and Jordan with 4.
Hey.
Shout out to 7 times 8. Really took me to the promised land.
It did.
Stupid.
It saved you.
I
and
locked up.
It broke you.
It breaks a lot of third graders. It's okay, Jordan. You're not
Yeah, it
alone.
I was going to say, I feel like it breaks like a lot of people because I just rely on a calculator for so
Our
much
7s
anymore.
and our 8s are so hard. So hard.
They are. 9s facts, easy peasy. Did
Mhm.
you know there's a trick you can use for 9s facts?
What is the trick? I feel like I might be enlightened.
So when you are doing, like, give me a random 9s fact.
Oh, it's so good.
It's great. It's
9,
amazing.
Only
Like
like
single
only a
digit?
teacher would know this.
Right?
like single digit? Or
Yeah.
just- okay. 9 times 3.
Okay. So you hold out your hands.
Okay.
Okay. And then you would have 9 fingers. So like 9 times 3. 1, 2, 3. Drop down that finger. 27.
Huh. That's
Or
cool.
like 9, I don't know, 9 times 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Drop that finger. 54.
That is
But
so
we don't
cool.
have a trick for 8 times 7. You just got to know it.
Yeah, I just got to know that one.
You just got another one.
See, for me, I try to teach like related facts. So like, okay, if you know 7 times 7 is 49.
Yeah.
One more group of 7 added on. Count it up.
Some kids will remember 5, 6, 7, 8. Like 7 times 8 and then 5, 6 is 56.
I didn't know that one.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, thank you for once again crushing my husband in Are You
think-
Smarter Than AI?
I think I'm on a losing streak here.
Listen, we have to let our guests win because they're guests.
Well,
right.
They are guests. They are guests.
They are guests. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us. I
Yeah,
know that you
thanks.
probably are like, I want to get the heck out of my school and go home. So I appreciate you hanging out with us. Before you go, where can people find you? And do you have anything special, any projects or anything you're working on that you want to share?
Oh, that's so sweet. It's more like, how could people avoid me? I at Mr. Kyle Cohen in all the places. Yeah. No, not everything's exciting. No, nothing in particular.
Everything's exciting.
It's all exciting every
love
day. It's just thrilling. But this
Yes.
was so much fun. I really
Yeah.
appreciate you all having me on.
Yeah, we'll
and
have to
getting
get
connect
together.
with Cleveland educators next
Yes.
time in person.
Yes. We need to definitely go get dinner or something.
Yeah. We'll talk speech and debate.
Love of my life. All right. Well, thank you, and go enjoy the rest of your evening before you have to be back there in 12 hours.
I wish I had an air mattress.
You're like, I would just stay here. We will be right back.
Bum-ba-ba-na-na-na-na.
Is that
We're
you?
back.
Okay. I was like, is that you bringing us back?
Yes.
I enjoyed
With the
that.
shark attack.
Wait, that was a shark attack?
Yeah, it was an IP friendly Jaws theme song.
Oh, okay. All right. Bum bum bum.
Bum-ba-ba-na.
Bum 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 bum. Okay.
Ba-na-na.
Anywho, that's the first one. The first one.
You still said it.
It's the first one.
Oh, wait, but what if you say one? I'm going to lift the veil. We filmed this part before we filmed the intro. So you saying this is the first one could be a lie.
Oh, it could. I hope it's not.
You better
I
not
will
say
make
it.
it my job
You will make it your job.
to not say it again.
Wow. You know what else would be really interesting with that?
What?
A special bond.
It would be.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. Okay.
That hurt you, didn't it?
A little bit. It hurts not to transition with that word. I don't know why. I need to come up with a different one. Or I need to make that a t-shirt and just wear it.
I just like the t-shirt and wear it idea. I think
Okay,
it's a good
I'll
idea.
just do that. I'll make it a t-shirt. Anyone else want one? I'll just make us all a group order. So let me know. Okay, so this week's special bond.
I was going to say, if you want a t-shirt made, put a little owl in the chat.
Ooh.
If we have an army of owls.
Ooh, yeah.
The way you're saying ooh just sound like an owl hooting. Ooh.
Not the owl sounds. Ooh, yeah.
Oh my God, guys. My friend has a theory
No.
that Lauren it's a made-up theory, but we're making it a real conspiracy theory. Lauren is a bird person.
Caca.
She always says anywho. Her high school mascot, college mascot, twice was a bird.
That's not my
And
fault.
she makes bird noises.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Random bird noises.
consistently make random bird noises.
Yes, you do.
You act like I walk around our house and just go like, ah!
What is one of your most viral videos of you doing? 5th grade.
Calling my students into recess?
Caca.
Caca.
There is more evidence than I know what to do with of you being a bird person.
Okay. I feel like I need to make this a video now
Yes.
and debunk
No,
the bird
there is
person
no
rumors.
No, I'm going to be like Charlie Day. I'm going to have just tons of
Pins and
paper,
strings.
pins, strings everywhere about how you are a bird person.
All right. Getting into this week's
Throw it in the
special
chat.
bond.
Lauren Woolley Bird Person 2025 watch.
Stop it.
If I get 100 eagles.
Fine. If you get 100 eagles in the chat,
Oh no, what?
you get 100 eagles in the comments,
Yes.
I will dress up like a bird.
Come on. I think that's doable.
Good luck. Caca. Okay. Our
Stop.
special bond for this week comes from Rebecca. She said, my music teacher / vocal teacher from high school is my biggest inspiration. He poured so much love, support, and wisdom over my life. In high school, I had a ton of family problems going on, such as my brother going to jail, my birth dad being manipulative, and me falling for it every time. And every time my dad broke my heart, my music teacher was still there for me. And then, my senior year, 2 months before I graduated, I finally told him off and cut off our relationship. And I feel so free. I wouldn't have been able to do it without my music teacher. The amount of mental and emotional abuse I was put through, I don't know if I would still be here. Oof.
Yeah.
Rebecca. Well, I'm glad you're still here, for one thing. And I'm so sorry for all the family drama that you had to endure, all the mental and emotional abuse that you've had to endure. That's never easy. And that just is a testament to how strong you are as a person, being able to pull through and free yourself from that. And having a teacher that was able to be that support system for you and be able to provide you with so much like love and safe space is just invaluable.
Mm-hmm.
So my heart goes out to you, Rebecca.
Yeah.
I hope you're doing well. And thank you for sharing that about your teacher.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say?
No, that's just.
I kind of said it all. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
You kind of stole words. I
that hit me right in the heart. I'm sorry. Okay. So on that note, if you would like to also share your special bond, we would love to hear it. You can send it to us at hello@wearefinepod.com, or you can DM our Human Content Podcast family over on Instagram at Human Content Pods and send them that story, and we would love to share it on the show and include you. So please share your special bonds with us. We would love to hear them.
Also, we would like to know how the show's doing. And you can do that a couple different ways. Come chat with us and our family on our Instagram, Lauren's Instagram over there, or the Human Content Pods Instagram page and TikTok page, because it's still alive.
For now.
Not dead yet.
For now.
Or you can contact them directly at hello@wearefinepod.com.
Love that. Hello. We're fine.
Hello.
That's why I feel like I just need to. I'm going to greet everyone like that from now on. Hello. We're fine. I'm fine.
Hello. We're fine. Hello.
And thank you guys to those of you who have been, listening to every episode of the podcast. We really appreciate you guys listening or watching on YouTube. If you're new here, welcome. We're so excited to have you. And please continue on this weird and exciting journey that we are on.
I think weird's an understatement.
Yeah, but that's the word I'm going to go with for today. And if you have listened to the episodes, but maybe you want to watch them, you can do so over on my YouTube channel, Mrs. Woolley in 5th.
There might even be an episode of me hidden in there somewhere dressed as a pineapple.
It's pretty entertaining and honestly one of my favorite episodes. So yeah, go find it. It's great. Thanks for listening. We're your hosts, Lauren and Jordan Woolley.
And a huge special thanks to our guest, Kyle Cohen. And you can find him at Mr. Kyle Cohen.
Yeah. All right. Our executive producers are Lauren and Jordan Woolley. What?
I just said your name.
That felt like a Twilight Zone moment because I heard myself saying it and then I heard a mumbling in the background and I was like, what?
And then an angelic voice calling your name for a waiting room.
And then but then I looked at you and I didn't think you said anything. So I was like, what? Huh?
It's the rapture.
I was so confused.
I'm going to heaven now.
Goodbye.
Bye. Goodbye, everybody.
But when will I see you again? Oh,
never.
All right. Oh my
Who
gosh.
are the executive producers, Lauren?
It's me, Lauren, having an existential crisis, and Jordan Woolley, Aaron Corney, Rob Goldman, and Shanti Brooke.
Our editor is Andrew Sims.
Our engineer is Jason Portizo.
And our music is by Omer Benzvi.
Woo! To learn about our program disclaimer and ethics policy and submission, verification, and licensing terms.
That's a lot of words.
It is. Go to wearefinepod.com or reach out to us at hello@wearefinepod.com with any questions or concerns.
I never get to read this.
You
one,
don't.
so,
We switched it up this week.
We switched it up. So, this product.
And that's why you never get to... No, I'm kidding.
See, there's a reason.
Just kidding.
This podcast discusses sensitive and challenging topics, including mental health and personal struggles. If you're in crisis or need someone to talk to, please reach out to the Suicide Hotline at 988, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. You are not alone.
We Are Fine is a human content production. Hey, you.
Hey.
I love that shirt you're wearing.
And you know what would go great with that shirt?
What?
A nice big virtual hug. And you can get that by hitting some of these buttons down here. Subscribe, like, comment. We'll give you a big old virtual hug.
Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you guys next Wednesday.
Bye.
Bye.